Okay, you're listening to the Choke Artist Podcast. I have a very special guest today, a very old friend of mine. Before we start, I want to tell you to subscribe. I'm going to make a point to tell you every time because who knows when I'll do this again. Also, I put up a compilation CD on Wednesday. Oh no, on Tuesday. It's called Your Breath Stinks Volume 4. It's got a bunch of cool bands on it. If you download money on Bandcamp, money goes to the Best Friends Animal Society. That's right, Ernie, Trent.
Okay.
You heard it here first. It's like an animal welfare organization.
Cool. Where are they based out of?
I think like New York.
Okay.
And they work on like rehoming animals.
Cool.
And like, giving back in shelters and stuff. So
nice.
Yeah.
We have two cats that were both adopted, and we adopted an outside cat right now who we bought like a heated house for him, and it's crazy.
A heated house outside or inside?
Oh, it's outside. But he lives better than I do. So he's got some good stuff going. But
yeah. Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Cool. Yeah, all right. Ernie Trent is my guest. Me and Ernie played in a band together for, I think, like 5 years.
Long time,
A long time.
Marlanisha, yeah.
Yeah. You were the first real person that sang for us.
Yeah. Yeah, those are cool days. It was some creepy old guy, myself, saying like, hey, I think I want to play music with a bunch of 8-year-olds. So that's kind of how that all worked.
Yeah, because I was 14 and you were 19 probably.
Yeah.
Which in retrospect, like, you were still super young too, but we thought it was like, man, he's like a real adult. This is crazy.
Yeah, and I'm still not. But like, I remember because it was like shortly after I wasn't in the dead season anymore. We had mutual friends because I didn't know you guys at all.
Yeah.
And I had mutual friends like on AOL Instant Messenger, like, hey, you need to check out Marlanisha. I'm like, who or what is that? Like, I'm picturing some like really scary woman with an afro, and they're like, no, it's actually like children that play music, and I'm like, oh, all right, that sounds cool. And like, I didn't really think anything of it, and it was probably like Pure Volume or something.
That was the heyday of Pure Volume.
Yeah, and someone like sent me the link, and I'm like, oh, so busy, but I guess I'll figure this out. And then I clicked it, and I was like, hey, these guys are really good. Like, it was just like a genuine, like, I want to keep playing music, and they meaning you, obviously. I was like, these guys are like really good. Like, oh yeah, no, they're looking for a singer, and I'm like, I'm interested. Like, even just to get together and like hang out and then jam and see if anything came from it, because I had done that before with other bands, and like it was just kind of like, hey, that was cool. See you later. And then, it was like...
well, with metalcore, which I guess is what the genre would be, melodic hardcore, post-hardcore, you never know what you're going to get, dude. Yeah. It could just be a guy playing Metallica riffs and like a real shitty drummer.
Which could be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Like if it's just like, hey, let's get together and do whatever. Like, even if you don't know the words to Walk by Pantera, you could still have fun with it.
Yeah, totally.
Like, you could be like, you know what? Like, this is fun, whatever. And it was just like, oh, cool. Like, I remember I showed up and like Matt had like the faux hawk, and like, I was like, all right, like, whatever. We'll see what comes of this. And who knows what I was probably wearing a Zayo shirt or something like that. And I was just like, all right, cool. Like, let's get together and jam. And I remember it was at Matt's parents' house.
Yeah.
And we wrote Yellow Ribbon like that day.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like, obviously it wasn't like perfectly done or whatever the case was, but like, I remember it was like, it wasn't as much of like, hey, let's jam, because you guys had already been playing together.
Sure.
It wasn't like you guys were feeling each other out at all. You guys were like, hey, let's do this, let's do that. And you already had like your cues while you were all playing. So it was kind of me just trying to fit in there, and I felt like I had something to prove too. You know, like when things ended with like the dead season, I was kind of like, hey, I know I could keep doing this. I was pretty confident in what I did.
Yeah.
And I wasn't good. In hindsight, I'm like, why did you have confidence? But I was like, hey, I want to keep doing this. I have something to prove.
I think you were good at it, and you were hip to music and like open, and also you're a good front person because you always put yourself out there. Like when we were playing shows and we were like 14 and just fucking around, you were like actually like networking and talking to people. You were the face of the band. You literally drove us because none of us could drive.
Yeah, no, I guess that's the one thing that I really tried to bring, because I think I'm not the worst person. So I think I could go into a room and kind of bullshit with people and find some common ground with people, whether we really had it or not. It was just kind of like, hey, that guy's different. That guy's in a band too. I want to talk to that guy and like pick his brain and see what I could get out of it. Even if it's just, hey, got some good conversation, nothing else. Like I was trying to do that even from like my earlier days in music when I was like 16, 17. I'm like trying to like rub elbows with whoever because I knew I wasn't the best, but I wanted to see if I could pick up like an ounce from here, an ounce from there, and like maybe be better.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's awesome. That's an awesome mindset to have too.
Yeah, and I guess I carry that with other stuff, but like who cares? But like no, it was really cool to like play with you guys and then see where it actually went from there. Cause I don't know, like I guess in hindsight I could say you guys were like excited about it, but like I knew I was really excited after it.
We totally were.
Yeah. Cause I remember I left there and I was like, hey, that was really cool experience. These guys are good at what they do.
Yeah.
And like we keep joking about, which really isn't even a joke, like you guys were totally younger, but you were so advanced musically compared to like a lot of the people I interacted with. And I'm not saying like the band I was with before wasn't good, because they were all awesome musicians, but they were older too.
Yeah.
So like I'm going into where you guys are like 16 years old or 15 or whatever.
15, 14.
Yeah. And it was like, holy shit, these guys are really good at what they do.
We played a lot. That's why.
Yeah.
We just fucking jammed a lot.
Yeah. But there was also like a different style that you guys did where it wasn't like, hey, let's go write the best 4/4 stuff we can. It's like, okay, cool. Yeah. Let's do this. Then a chord progression here and then this or that. Like you guys are, I mean this in the most enduring way, or no, that's not the
endearing.
Word. Yeah, endearing. Yeah, I'm not that smart, but like the most endearing way where you guys are really, really weird, and I think that is a big difference in music. I don't think I'm breaking any ground by saying that, but like if you're just writing the same boring stuff over and over again, yeah, that's fine, but that wasn't stimulating to me.
Sure.
You know, like I went in there and you guys are like, hey, let's do this, let's do that. And I'm like, wait, what is this? Because at the time, at least what I was exposed to, there weren't a lot of bands that were doing things like that. So for me, I was like, hey, I'm really fascinated by these guys. Let's see where this goes. Yeah. And let's see if we could make anything more of it. And if not, then so be it. Like I said, it was all about like the experience of doing it. But at the same time, I was like, hey, I think I really tapped into something with these guys.
Hell yeah.
Like I lucked into something really good. Well, let's see where this goes from there.
I don't know if you lucked, because we all looked up to you guys. You guys were like the cool kid. I remember I met Shree at like a party at like Justin Link was having, and I knew the Dead Season had just played Hellfest.
Yeah.
And like Alex was always like, yeah, check this band out. And I would always listen on pure volume. And dude, like I grew up, that was like a big song. Like that album was like really important for us. So when Gabe told us like, yeah, the singer of the Dead Season, we were like, oh shit, awesome. That band's fucking rad. Like, despite us being kids, like, it was like really cool to like for that to happen. And then we played it. It was awesome. And we made really cool shit too.
Yeah. And I had fun just like hanging out with you guys that day. 'Cause that was like such a huge thing. 'Cause like, not even just in music, but like life, if you're around people that are just like boring as shit and don't inspire you with anything or whatever, like that only goes so far.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So like I think like the dynamic of like, here's Joe, like the kind of shy, goofy kid, and like here's Gabe, who's like goofing around, and then like super talented, like sings like a little angel. You know what I mean? And you're like, wait a second, that guy's huge. Like this guy's a big scary guy, and like had like this sensitive side, and like same thing with Matt, and he wrote these really complex things, and then again, it sounds like a broken record, but the same thing with Alex, where Alex was writing cool stuff and he was super chill. So I'm like, hey, I'm lucky to be in a room with these four guys in general, just from a standpoint of like, these are four cool dudes, and hey, they write really good music. Let's see what comes of it. And, you know, obviously some cool stuff came out of it, and it was a lot of fun.
I would say we were pretty accomplished for our age and our mindset.
Yeah.
I think if we made some better decisions, we'd be in a better spot.
Yeah, but I think that a lot of what we did, the decisions were because we were Marlonisha.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
True.
Like, I think that dynamic wouldn't have been the same if we made better decisions as adults.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think part of, like, what kept us going, and well, it didn't keep us going for a super long period of time, but like what kept us going through a lot of that is like we were goofing around. We were going over to your house and like swimming in your pool and doing and like playing pool and doing dumb stuff where it's like, all right, like if we were like, guys, get downstairs right now, it's practice. Like,
yeah,
I think that 4 out of 5 of us would have been like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that was part of the great dynamic which made the band keep moving forward. So, like, yeah, we could say, like, yeah, if we took it more seriously and all chipped in and bought a van and trailer and, you know, went through a booking agency or were more aggressive with X, Y, or Z, but, like, that's why I think we were as successful as we were. Not really successful, but just
we
like...
were a strong local, and like regionally in a few other spots, we were a draw.
Yeah,
which was cool.
And like, I don't think it would have been like that if we took ourselves too seriously at the time.
That's true. I never thought of it like that, because I'm always like regretful, like, oh, like who knows. But we were really young, even like you were like really young. But I remember like labels had hit us up, like Indianola Records.
No, there were definitely some cool opportunities for us, and I think a lot of us were, I mean, I could speak for myself where I was like not nervous about it, but I was like, oh man, like a touring band, can I really do that? You know, like at the time it was like, it seems so like
I literally couldn't. I remember talking to this that label that Bella Kiss was on, at like Sycamore Dreams.
Audio Deprived.
Yeah. Indianola had like A Day to Remember and Across 5 Aprils. But like Audio Deprived, And I was talking to a guy online for a while, and he was like, well, could you tour like in June? I was like, well, we have like finals, man. We're in high school. He's like, wait, how old are you? And I was like, 16. And he just stopped talking to me, and he started talking to Matt Rayner. But like, we were just like young. We were, And again, like there were cool opportunities, and I think we took advantage of a majority of them. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and the cool thing is we're like still to this day, it's like, I don't know, 10 years later plus, where I'm like, hey, we recorded this, like, I'm still going to listen to it. And that, at this point, it's almost like third person. Like, I almost feel like it isn't me. Like, I'm just like, oh, what's this hip new band? All right, let me put it on. Like, wow, these fellas slap. You know, like I don't. It's like an out of body experience, but it's cool. Like, it's still really good music, and like out of all the stuff I've recorded in the bands I've been in, like that the one EP that we recorded at Stained Glass is like one of my favorite like pieces of music that I've recorded. Like those, like, what was it, 5 songs? I think. Like, I love that 5-song EP. Is awesome. Yeah,
like,
I agree.
Yeah, it's like This Town Is Ours is like kind of cheesy, but it was like cool for the time because that's what everybody was doing. It was all like pile-on stuff and like sing-along, two-step, like
techie, It had kind of everything, and we did it in our own way. Like, it wasn't derivative really, where it was like, it didn't feel formulaic, and that wouldn't be us. We didn't know how to do that. Yeah,
well, but then when you go into like other songs on that same EP, like the one hilariously titled Kobayashi is like one of my favorite songs ever.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like really weird, like I think that would be like the epitome of a song where it's like, hey, what kind of music did you play 100 years ago, Grandpa? And I'm like, hey, listen to this. And like, they'll be like, what the fuck was that? Like, they're going to, like, I think it was really cool. And especially for its time, like maybe, 100 years, I'll be like, oh, that's no big deal. But like, I think at the time, like it was like 2006 and it was like, I don't know, at least in my mind, the 8 bands I listened to at the time, like no one was really doing that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, this is kind of cool. Like has a lot of like fun parts in it. And I don't know, it was just a cool record in general.
Yeah. That song had a lot of heavy, slow parts too, I remember.
Yeah.
It's just like gradually slowed down. It got heavier.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Because a lot of that was writing like, we would like go over your house, or at least I was a little bit more disconnected from it because I didn't see you in school like the other guys, but like come over and you'd be there with like your shaggy hair and you're like, hey man, listen to this breakdown I wrote. It's in this weird time signature. I'm like, I don't even know what that means. And then you like press play and then I listen to it. I'm like, wow, that's cool. Okay. And you're like, don't worry, man. I thought of some vocal melodies for it. And I'm like, woo, because I'm too dumb to figure that out because I really was. And
I remember I would tab it out. And be like, hey, try stuff like this or like whatever.
Yeah, and I took probably 99% of it where I'm like, you know what, this kid's on to something. I think I'm gonna do that and throw some mediocre lyrics over it, and it'll be awesome.
The intro for the EP, the breakdown for This Town Is Ours, I wrote in history class in junior year.
Oh, didn't you like tap it on a book or something?
I was like wrote it on my homework plan, and then I wrote it down.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
I remember in that same time you tabbed out Speech Impediment by August Burns Red and sent it to them, and they're like, LOL, that's like exactly what it is. Like they were kind of like freaked out because this again was like 2005
before they were huge.
Yeah, this was like way long time ago, and they were just kind of like, it seemed like they were almost like freaked out. Like, okay,
it's
so
like,
how did you figure that out?
Yeah, it's pretty close. Yeah. Like, I used Tabit. I did a Guitar Pro. Yeah. It's funny.
And that was like at the time where we were like playing with them relatively often too. Like we played with them
three or 4 times, right?
Yeah, we played with them a few times down in Aston or like that area with like AJ and all those guys there. So
do you still see AJ? Or like talk to him or anything?
I see him on the internet.
Yeah.
So, the beautiful thing about the internet is I can still be a creepy only child and not really have to interact with people, but I know what's going on everyone's
Well, you
life
can still keep in touch.
Far away.
Because, after you left Marlowe, you joined Grey Lines, which toured extensively.
Yeah.
Like, actually did the things that, like, I don't know if Marlowe ever aspired to do, but, like, at least I wanted to do at some point.
Yeah,
Like,
it was cool. That was like a whole weird thing too, because I remember I was friends with Mike, the guitarist of Grey Lines, and really the main guy in Grey Lines, and we were friends because we used to play with them relatively often.
Yeah,
and I remember they were looking for a singer, and other band members and everything like that, and I remember I would like relatively often like talk to Mike on AOL Instant Messenger, and I remember like they posted something, whether it was on like MySpace or something, that like, hey, we're gonna be doing like vocal tryouts, blah 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 blah, and I'm like, I don't know if this is really what I want to do. And then the more and more I talked to Mike about it, I was like, you know what, like, because I don't know if I thought I was really ready to tour. As stupid as that sounds now, like, it was just kind of like, oh man, like they're looking to tour a lot. They tour pretty often.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Let's see. And then like Mike and I were talking about it, and he's like, well, like if you want, I don't know why I remember this. I remember a lot of stupid stuff, but like not important things. Like, I'm sure I won't know where I parked today, but like I remember like little details like this, where I remember Mike was like, hey, if you want to audition, because he had like the whole practice space and everything, and like his parents' house that was like soundproofed and everything. Like, it was awesome like rehearsal space there.
Yeah.
And he's like, if you want to try out, it's on this day. And it was like on my birthday. And I was like, oh, do I tell this guy? Like, I'm already going to sound like I'm not into it if I'm like, hey man, it's my birthday. Like, sounds kind of lame as like an excuse to not show.
Sure.
Like, what are you, 10 years old? Like,
Yeah.
you're 13. It's a
Yeah.
really big birthday. Like, get over it. You're an adult.
Any
Go
birthday
try it.
past maybe 25 doesn't matter. And
Yeah.
that's even kind of a stretch.
Yeah, and it was just kind of like, do I say something? And I'm like, no, I think I could do it. You know, like, yeah, it's no big deal. So I went there, and I thought it went really well, and I didn't know Bruce, the drummer, who was the drummer the whole time I was in Gray Lines. I didn't know him at all. He was in a band down from like South Jersey called, I want to say it was In Harm's Way, if I'm not mistaken. Like, they were a pretty good band. Like, listening to them and stuff like that. And I remember as like Mike was telling me about it leading up to it, I'm like, oh, okay. Like, he like constructed this group of musicians at this time.
Even before you were in the band, they had a lot of rotating members.
Yeah, which a lot of bands did, because
especially when you tour that much.
Yeah, and like especially when you're like teenagers or like right on the edge of being like, you're like 20 years old. It's like, I'm not in your top 8. Forget it. I'm not in the band anymore.
Always
so
stupid
like
drama.
Yeah. So there's just like constant drama in general, and like when. What, like leading up to that, it was like, hey, you know, whatever. And I remember I went downstairs and like I still didn't even really know the lineup, and like DC was still in the band, which was like, I don't know why I was like shocked, like, oh, hey man, you know, like, so DC's there, Mike's there, but it was like, it was fun, but at the same time I was like kind of nervous walking into it, because it wasn't just like, hey man, like it wasn't the Marlowe setup where it's like, hey man, let's get Wendy's and hang out and like do whatever.
Well, it was
like,
an audition, and it wasn't. Yeah, I guess with us, it was more like a jam. Like, let's see how it goes.
Exactly.
But they were like already pretty established. Even by the
yeah,
time
it was
you
like,
joined.
hey, know these songs, and we're gonna play these songs.
Yeah.
You know, so like that was a little different, but at, you know, like going into it, I was like, hey, maybe I do want to be in a more serious band. Maybe I want to be in a band that isn't like doing cannonballs in the pool. Maybe it's like, hey, I want to tour to California.
Sure.
You know, and I knew it was a real possibility with them. So I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm going to do my best. Like, I've never been good with like memorizing lyrics and stuff like that. Even like some of like my all-time favorite CDs I've been listening to since like the 90s, I still don't know the words to the songs, which is like really weird. But so like going into the audition, I'm like, even though I'm like looking at the lyrics constantly and everything like that, like I really didn't know all the lyrics to these songs. So I'm like, oh God, I'm really underprepared. And like, it wasn't because I wasn't trying. I just like can't, I'm too dumb to,
well, you didn't write it, so it's different.
Yeah. So like going into it, I think it went really well. And then everyone was like just slowly leaving. It's like, oh, it's 10 o'clock, whatever. And people are leaving. And then it was just Mike and I hanging out outside and just like, hey man, I think it went really well. And then he was just like kind of discussing the direction of the band, but he made it pretty clear, like, hey man, like, you're not the singer now. You know, like, he didn't say that because like he was super cool that night, and you know, for the whole time I love Mike, but it's just like, it wasn't like, cool man, you got it, see you tomorrow. Like, I left there going like, man, I hope I was good enough.
Sure.
You know, which is like a weird thing.
Strange dynamics, sort of. But I mean, it was Mike's band in a lot of ways.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, he put everything he could possibly put into that band, plus some. You know?
Totally.
And I remember a few days later, it was like, hey, man, like, I talked it over with the guys, like, basically, like, you got it, you know, something along those lines. But it was like, hey, we have a tour that's set up. Like, I was trying to think about it today, like, I don't know, just thinking while I was driving, like, I don't know for a fact if I played a show with Gray Lines before I toured with Gray Lines.
Wow.
Yeah. Like, I'm like, if I did, it was like one or two shows. Like,
that's scary.
I mean, it was a super long time ago. It was like 2006, I think, somewhere in there. So like, I don't really remember.
Sure.
But like, I honestly don't know if we played any shows before we toured.
That's risky because you don't really know everyone still.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know if everyone can hang and like.
Yeah, and it wasn't like a big tour. Like, it was like a week. Like, it wasn't anything crazy. We actually went all the way down to Florida. Like, it was like.
In a week?
Yeah, like, I think it was even less than a week. Like, we went to. Our first show was in North Carolina.
Yeah.
And then, like, we played a few shows down there. And we toured with. Or tour, I use like quotes because it always cracks me up where it's like super mega long tour and it's like a 3-day thing to Pennsylvania. Yeah. But like we toured with Your Eyes My Dreams, which they were on Indianola.
Okay.
And then 2 of the guys from Your Eyes My Dreams, when you fast forward, ended up being in Greylands later.
Oh, that dude Mike I met, right?
Yeah, Mikey, who you met, we went to see his band Sunstroke.
Yeah,
a few weeks ago, that he was in Your Eyes My Dreams, and then their guitarist, the guy Josh, later joined Greylands as like our second guitarist. But like it was weird because like, God, I have so many stories about that tour that like I don't even want to get into because it doesn't sound good for people that were involved. But like, long story short, unnamed person, second guitarist for Greylands. We go to leave for tour, and that person's not there.
Yeah.
And we're like, hey, person, where are you? Not responding, not picking up his phone, not doing anything. And we're like, what the hell are we going to... Like, we're leaving for tour today. Like, what is going on? Maybe we did play a few shows before tour. But anyway, I'm like, Mike, what are we going to do? Like, Mike's like, I'm not touring without a second guitarist. Like, it's just not happening. So, like, what the hell are you going to do? Like, at this point, like, well, it is literally the day we're leaving for tour. And I think we played the next day, I want to say. It was either, like, that next afternoon or that night. It couldn't have been that night. So, that next afternoon, we were playing in North Carolina.
Sure.
At, like, what ended up being a huge show. Like, it was a lot of fun. Like, it was a cool fest at, like, a huge church in North Carolina.
Nice.
And we like went to this person's house, had to essentially break into said person's house, and they're like asleep. So we're like, hey, get up. Dude, it's like a whole, like, I can't even.
Did they want to go on the tour?
Apparently not, but instead of like, hey, I don't want to go on the tour, it just turned into like the weirdest.
Going ghost.
Dude, the weirdest like 2 hours of my life. Like, we're at this person's house, like, hey, let's leave. And they're like, hey, I need to put shorts on. We're like, and Mike and I are losing our minds. Like, Bruce was like the calming man in every situation.
Yeah.
And he's like still like this. Like, one of the sweetest dudes I ever met in my life. And he's like, hey guys, like, you know, and we're like, Bruce, are you kidding me? Like, we are leaving for tour right now. And the guy in the band is just like, yeah, you know, like, whatever. And we're like, what is going, like, Mike and I are looking at each other like we're crazy.
Yeah.
And everyone else is kind of like, oh, whatever. And I remember, like, I think DC was like pissed off too, but like in a DC way where he's just like quiet, like pissed off.
Stinks, man. This freaking stinks.
This stinks. I'm gonna go kick dirt. Like, and it was just like, oh my gosh, what do we do? And then eventually it was like, we all kind of like got together and we're like, Mike, we need to do this tour without them.
Yeah.
We need to just leave and we're going to play as a 4-piece. And then, like, typical Mike Fauci is like, no, we are not. We are not playing. And we're like, Mike, come on, man. Like, we have this tour. Like, it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then, like, I don't know how. It might be the only time Mike Craven was ever talked into anything in his life to this day. And we're like, dude, come on, like, let's do this. And we left, and he played with cabs on both ends of the stage.
Yeah.
And we played as a 4-piece. And I remember, like, after the first show, like, I just have a memory, like, our set's over, I'm all excited, I'm like, yeah, like, looking around, and Mike's like counted down like the amount of shows left as a 4-piece. He's like, 4 more shows. And I'm like, 4 more shows what? Like, isn't this fun? Like, no, it is not. I don't like playing as a 4-piece, but to his credit, he plays because it was it was clearly written as a 5-piece, and we had a lot of stuff.
It was melodic and like leads and shit,
Yeah, so like I think he would have been maybe a little more open to it if he got like more time leading up to it to say like, oh, okay, I'll play this in this part. It was like, we're driving down to North Carolina, get ready to figure it out, and like he figured it out, and all went fine. And you have to tell me who bailed. Hard. I feel like I used to know who it was, but you're gonna have to tell me after the podcast. Yeah, no, like I kind of just wanted to be like, I don't want to talk shit about anybody.
Sure,
I don't,
It's also, it was a long time ago too.
Yeah, exactly. Like, dude, we're kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like in the grand scheme of things, like I know I'm old as shit now, but like at the time, it was like we were like most of us were like early like 20 years old, 21. Yeah. Like it wasn't like we were like, hey, I'm making decisions as an adult. It's like, I don't feel like doing this, so I'm just not going to do it, which...
It's a funny juxtaposition that you were feeling great after the set, like your first show on a tour with the band, and Mike's like, no.
Yeah. And like, it was cool being in a band like that. Like, I really enjoyed it, and it
pushes you in ways that you wouldn't usually be pushing, because there's like a discipline to it and like boundaries and like,
Oh, dude, for sure. Like, because like the more and more I think about like things I did in Marlanisha on stage, and not anything like ridiculous, but like I did stupid stuff. Like I had like, like there were like breakdowns where I'm like, oh, to like yelling stupid stuff on the microphone. Calls. Yeah.
That's part of the fun. But
no, it totally was. But like when I look at that compared to Gray Lines, it's like, okay, Gray Lines, we went up there and we handled it more seriously, I guess, is like...
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, but like at the same time, it was like, it wasn't really as much fun. You know what I mean? So like, it seems like there's that constant like, all right, well, if you're going to do this, then this is going to be the end result for it. So like, Gray Lines, we definitely had our fun, but the fun was not the 40 minutes on stage.
Yeah, totally.
And I think that's cool. Like, I like it because where we were in some of the tours and some of the shows we were on, not that we're ever looking to fit in, but we fit in with these professional bands, and we didn't we thought of ourselves as a professional band.
Sure.
Which like wasn't something I was used to prior to that. Like both of the bands, or I was in a couple stupid bands, but like with the Dead Season and Marlanisha, it was just like, cool, we're playing this awesome show, we're having fun, we're doing whatever, and it was all about like what's happening after the show, what's happening, like there was so much more surrounded by it, where like Gray Lines was like, we're on tour 23 hours a day was almost us resting for that hour.
Sure. Yeah.
And there was a really cool thing about that too.
Sure.
I'll never, I don't regret like any time in my life. It's whatever. I will totally cherish that like few years that I was in Gray Lines, because I got to do something like that. And I think it made me a bit more mature, whether it's for good or bad. But like, I feel like it was like, regardless of if everyone else is acting like an idiot or goofing around or whatever it is, like kind of sounds really pretentious now that I'm saying it out loud.
No,
but it's like,
interesting.
It's like, hey, kind of be above that and be the professional one in a situation.
Yeah.
And goof around after.
Sure.
Dude, Gray Lines, we did really dumb stuff like, when we're on tour with like Miracle You, like doing like van war stuff, like we wrapped like their van and like caution tape, and we locked. So they had like pulled doors. I digress, as always. They had like pulled doors on their van, and we tied their doors together with like a rope underneath so they couldn't open. And we wrote "van for sale, $700 with trailer." And they were locked in their van. And at like 6, we were parked in like a Walmart parking lot. Everyone was sleeping. And at like 6 a.m. in North Carolina, people are like knocking on their windows like, hey, y'all, that van's still for sale? They're like, shut up, we're trying to sleep.
Oh, God.
And like people kept knocking on their van, like just doing stupid stuff.
That's
so
funny,
like
man. Yeah.
we totally had fun,
Yeah, I'm
goofed
sure.
around
Yeah.
and stuff. But at the same time, like we did take ourselves seriously, and I think it allowed us to have the opportunities that we
It does.
did,
Like,
you know?
dress for the job you want, you know? Like, you carried yourself a certain way.
Yeah.
And it could have opened doors or made people... It definitely made people perceive you a certain way.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it
which-
for positive, I'd
yeah,
say.
well, no, I mean, yes and no. Like, because I think...
Marlowe, we would clown on Grey Lines for sure. Like, while you were in Marlowe, we probably clown on Grey Lines a bunch.
Yeah, and I think that it was because... And I think it's still was a thing, like, when I was in Grey Lines and not in Marlowe, where, like, we would come to New Jersey to play, and we kind of didn't really fit in anymore. Because I remember the bands that were playing, like, a lot of the local bands and everything and friends that we had, and like even like with you guys, everyone was having fun. And then it was almost like we would get there, we're like, fun's over, guys. Here's Grey Lines. So like, I don't know, there was a weird dynamic.
Yeah. Sometimes you can feel like it's easier to make friends on tour. I kind of feel like that sometimes, where like on tour people are more open to you and hospitable, and then like when you play locally, I mean, I have friends around here obviously, but like as far as feeling like you belong to like a scene or community, like I find myself being more open to people when I'm away, kind of.
Yeah, and like it was really cool because you learn, and I'm sure you've learned this with like the touring and everything you've done, but it's like outside of the Northeast, people are so nice.
Yep.
And like
100%.
and like don't get me wrong, I would much rather live in the Northeast and people not be so nice.
Sure.
Like I don't care, it's whatever. I keep to myself for the most part, but like when we would be in like Oklahoma and we don't know anybody and people are like, hey, you guys could stay with us and this and that, or like I remember we stayed with this woman in, I think it was Indiana, and she's like, all right guys, I'm leaving for work, I made you breakfast, blah blah blah, and she made like waffles and like
so sick.
all
Yeah.
sorts of stuff, but she left us.
Yeah. Southern hospitality, or I guess it's Midwest, like.
Dude, but she never came back. Like, not, she didn't die.
No, yeah,
Like,
but she left.
you know,
She left for the day with you in the house, and that was
yeah,
it.
and she's like, all right, see you guys later. And I'm like, dude, what is going on? Where
Yeah.
like in New Jersey, it's like they're treating us like a hooker in a hotel room. Like, hey, I'm going into the bathroom. I want you guys clapping the whole time. Make sure you're not stealing anything.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah,
What is going on?
It's different. It definitely is. I was on tour once, I think in Angles, did like a Midwest thing, and we slept in the car at a rest stop. We slept from like midnight to 8 a.m. or whenever the sun woke us up. And someone left a $20 bill in the window and wrote a note that said, God bless you.
What?
It's fucking wild. It's like, yo,
Dude,
we just got
that's
paid for
crazy.
sleeping out here.
That's crazy. We were in, so I guess we could share some cool tour stories.
Yeah.
So we were in Washington State, right? So we were playing like it actually was like some like big fest there. It was a lot of fun, like this huge like gym of like a mega church type thing. Like
Yeah.
but it was super cool.
No,
Like there were
totally.
a lot of huh?
No, totally. I wanted to mention, well, because Grey Lines was a Christian band,
Yeah.
which we could talk about too, but like you did play like Cornerstone a lot and
Yep.
like a bunch of fests and stuff, and like there was a good community for that, and it was still pretty hip. Like there was good music, and like you had like Blood and Ink Records,
Yeah.
or like Face Down, like a lot of Christian hardcore labels.
State,
Solid
dude,
State,
yeah.
yeah, fuck, yeah.
Yeah, we
But go on, sorry.
yeah, no. Like I think we should touch on that. So I've been thinking about it a lot in general, like Christian music and everything like that. And I listened to actually another podcast. I'm not cheating on you. It was just another podcast. There's this podcast called Labeled, I think, and it talks about like solid state bands and
Oh, wow.
tooth and nail bands and stuff like that. And I think it's like one of the guys in Emory does it. Like he's like the host, and he interviews, like he did like a whole thing on like August Burns Red, whatever. Well, it was like came down from heaven for me. They did a 2-parter on Zao.
Nice.
And it was like from the inception of the band till the end of the band.
That's awesome.
Well, to the current state of the band.
Yeah.
They're still playing.
They played,
and, like, pumping
yeah.
out a ton of music.
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
And one of the things they brought up, and like I don't think I ever thought of it this way, but like Zayo made it very clear, and they like the host made it very clear where like the more they were okay, so this kind of was like the same thing for Grey Lions, I feel, so I'm kind of like stealing it from them, but like everyone thought that they weren't Christian enough for the Christian bands, and then too Christian for like the secular fans.
Sure.
So like people that were like, oh, I'm this hardcore Christian, we would go up there and I had like half sleeve tattoos and stuff like that, and they're like, oh gosh, golly, what is this guy doing? And then like at the same time, like I remember we were on tour with the Miracle of You, which they didn't even consider themselves a Christian band, but Dave is a Christian. And there was a guy in California at like this like bar that we played. There was a guy like my wife's jaw dropped when I told her like the other day that this even happened. The guy like walked up and he was like, fuck you, you're a Christian band, fuck you, you're not welcome here, and legitimately stood. Like, it sounds so made up. Like, it sounds like such bullshit. Like, that would never... Like, stood right in the middle of, like, the front of the stage and just gave the finger to them the whole time they played.
To the Miracle of You?
Yeah.
Did Dave put him in a fucking judo hold or something?
No, because Dave's a good dude. Like,
Yeah.
he would do... Like, if the guy tried to, like, fight him, I'm sure Dave would have, like, snapped his neck or something like that.
Yeah.
But, like... It was just, like,
It's weird.
lot of animosity for stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that was, like... We were pretty fortunate because we didn't get anything like that crazy.
Were they Christian, Miracle of You?
No, but Dave's a Christian.
and
so, like, some of his lyrics are, like...
Kind of spiritual, or, like, even the way, like, the delivery of his lyrics in that band,
yeah.
like, kind of, like, a lot of spoken word stuff. So.
Exactly. So, like, this guy must have been, like, going down to, like, this crappy bar, and this guy says God, so forget it.
Yeah. That's so nuts, though. I mean, what difference are you making flipping a guy? I showed him. Like, what do you...
I guess that was the battle he thought he won.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, again, we were pretty fortunate where we didn't really come to that. Like, we didn't get people that were, like, physically mad at us. But, like, there were people that would be like, oh, yeah, these guys are, like, that God band.
Yeah.
And I know that there were people that were turned off by it. I get it. It's whatever. You know, like, that's a cool thing with music is it's a version of art where you could either hate it or love it for no good reason.
Sure.
You could be like, blue, I hate blue, and not like a painting,
Yeah.
and that's it. Like, there's no thought put into it. It's just like, I don't like the color blue. Same thing with music where it could be like, I don't like that the singer is wearing black shoes. What a tool. And then you don't like that band.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I think it's right. I just get it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So, like, in a more extreme version of that, people would be like, hey, here's this hardcore band, Grey Lines of Perfection. They're a Jesus band. Forget these guys. Where, like, we didn't really, at least when I was in the band, I tried my best to not push. Because I think a lot of people are pushed away from religion, a lot of other things.
Yeah.
Just because people are shoving it down their throat.
Yeah.
And the last thing I want to be told by a peer is how I could be great like them.
Totally.
Because you're not great. No one is great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like...
Well, that's kind of the point of it, right?
Yeah, and, like, what I personally was doing it for were the kids that were like me that, like... Not that it even had to be Christianity. Like, I made that very clear where it was like, for you to, like, believe in something and just kind of, like, do it. And, like, when I was, like, real young, like 12, 13, maybe even before that, I was listening to, like, Metallica, Pantera, whatever, Megadeth, all sorts of stuff where it was like, if you, like, the thought in my head was like, if you listen to heavy music, you know, God isn't a part of it. And I was going to Sunday school. I was, like, pretty active in my church and stuff like that. And, like, my best friend and I in church, like, would get, like, looks because we would go to, like, because, like, my church was, like, a pretty forward thinking church at the time, where now it's just a norm. But like, I remember like my good friend going to like Sunday school in like a Metallica shirt.
Yeah.
Because that was like accepting at our church. It was super cool, and it was very much like push where it's like, hey, we don't care how you dress, we don't care this or that, like just that you're trying to be a better person.
Sure.
And yeah, it was through God, and that, again, I'm not here to like push anything, or I never really
the problem people have with Christian bands is they like associate it with like all the negative stereotypes you see in like old Baptist or like all of those old Christian churches or whatever. Like, oh, so you're a Christian man, so you hate gay people? It's like, no, dude, it's 2018.
Yeah,
like,
no, and that's the crazy part where like we had to like almost constantly be there to try and be like, okay, yeah, we're a Christian band, but listen, here's the deal, you know. So like usually when we would do shows as like the singer, the guy who's holding the microphone the whole time, I tried my best to not ever try and push anything, you know. So I was just like, hey, we're Great Lines Perfection from New Jersey, we're a Christian band, we're not telling you that our God is superior to your God or you're not God or whatever. We just are here to show you that, you know, you don't have to burn down a school to be a cool kid. You know, and like I don't think I ever said that because that would have been fucking bizarre. But like, you know what I mean? Like we're there for like the 12-year-old version of myself who realized like, hey, wait a second, you can like heavy music and not be a piece of shit.
Sure.
Is basically what it came down to.
Neat.
And like like I was just looking for like that kid who's at my shirt with like who spiked his hair for the concert because he's like, dude, I'm so excited to go to this, and just to like talk to him. Yeah. Just be like, hey man, what TV show do you watch?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like all I wanted was like that interaction with people, and for them to like realize like, oh hey, like I don't have to be a bad person. And again, that's not saying like, well, if you listen to Metallica, you're a bad person. But like, I think at least at that time in the 1950s when I was a kid, like you felt like you had to be a badass.
Yeah.
Like, I listened to Minor Threat, and because of that, I need to go do X, Y, and Z, and like that's bullshit.
Yeah.
You didn't have to do that. You know, like I remember like I would listen to like, Bad Religion and wear like a Bad Religion shirt to like church. And it's like, hold on, wait a second. You know what I mean? Like I felt like you could be whoever you wanted to be outside of the music. Sure. And then like whether you take what they're talking about or you could kind of skew what they're talking about and make it believe what you want. And that's a cool thing about like the art in general.
You can interpret it any way you want.
Exactly.
With like Slayer when it's like pentagrams, though, like that's like, I mean, they're
that's
like,
a hard one.
Yeah. I mean, that's like the iconography. I don't know if that's the word. Metal was associated with the devil and rock and like, all that crazy shit. And
Sure.
that's part of the lore of it. But like, I mean, I doubt they're all like fucking killing pigs every night and like,
Yeah, I don't think so. I think right now they're sitting on a good 401k and they're just like normal dudes that wrote about stuff. And I think that there are a lot of people in general that just write as like someone that just sees things.
Sure.
It doesn't necessarily mean like, hey, I believe this, I want to push this, hey, I'm pro this. Sometimes it's someone just, and a majority of the time, it's just people telling a story.
Yeah.
Hey, here's this or that. And you're like, oh my God, those were deep lyrics. And it's like, oh yeah, that doesn't have anything to do with me. It was just this or that or something I read about. Especially now, like you could pull a story on anything right now.
Totally.
Off the internet, and then you could write about it. So like, It doesn't always have to be about personal experiences. It could just be like your view on that particular subject or whatever.
Well, where do you draw the line though with art? Because did you hear about that shit at Dingbats?
Yes. So I feel really cool saying the beginning part of this. Talked about this at my barber shop the other day. All right.
Hey, you hear about those heavy metal bands?
Yeah.
For anyone who doesn't know, there was like neo-Nazi bands booked or nationalist bands booked on a metal bill at Dingbats, and I guess the run of it was, the NJ DIY scene found out and told the venue, like, take these bands off your fucking bill or else we're boycotting your place. The venue said they were taking them off the bill, and then Like, they apologized like we had no idea. Then they let the bands play, and they took their apology down, and they were like, well, free speech is free speech, and where do you draw the line? So, in my opinion, they handled it literally the worst way, because they offended everyone on all sides.
Yeah. I know you do shout-outs a lot on here, so shout out to Zach and the guys at Calabrese's Barbershop in Keyport. But there were actually like 5 of us or something like that sitting in there like bullshitting about it, where like we kind of had a similar view, like all of us in there, which is a nice thing. Because we're all very different people. Like, none of us are like, hey, we all went to the same school with the same money growing up as kids. Like, we're all from different areas of New Jersey and this or that, and we all kind of said, like, all right, I hate these nationalist bullshit bands, whatever.
Yeah.
Here's my thought on it, though. If Dingbats wants to let them play, this is my view on everything in the world, you have the right to do it.
Yeah.
But get ready for the shitstorm that comes with it.
Yeah.
So, like, if you want to, like, open a restaurant that literally just sells people, like, shit hamburgers, like, literally just, like, pieces of crap on a bun, it's America. You could do that.
Yeah.
But don't expect to be supported by the local market. And I guess what I'm saying is Dingbats served up a shit burger with, like, a swastika on it.
Yeah.
And, like, get ready to not be in business anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
because we had a show there, and I emailed the promoter, like, look, there's no way we could play this year.
Yeah.
We got to find something else. And he was like, all right, working on it. And then he was like, hey, the owner of Dingbats just sent me this long email, and it's this long, like, 8-paragraph explanation, like, well, so-and-so and so-and-so, and these people said, it's free speech, and they support our platform. And he cited Michael Graves from the Misfits, who, that guy, like, goes on InfoWars.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, and, like, so... And, not to say any endorsement, like, whatever, but it was just like, I don't care what these people say. I can't play at this place.
Yeah.
Like, you're allowed to have those bands play. We can tell you to go fuck yourself, though.
Yeah.
Like,
And, like, it's the same thing with any sort of business where you could take a risk like that, or you could, like, I'm sure it was the same thing in, like, the 60s where it's like, hey, we're going to have a punk rock band playing. People are like, what? You're what? No, I'm not supporting that. Because, like, let's be clear, and they're two very different things, but, like, think all of the bands where, like, the Misfits and everybody, like, talking about, like, killing people and killing babies and stuff like that. Like, everybody who listens to the Misfits, I'd like to think greater than 99.9% of them don't support killing babies.
I know it's fun.
In general. You know what I mean? But, like, they took it separately where they said, hey, we're going to support this venue for taking this risk or doing that. Totally separate thing. Dingbats goes on and does that stupid shit. And again, like, they didn't do it with, like, if I think there would have been a little less backlash, but still would have been bad if they were like, hey guys, we believe in free speech. Don't come to this show. We don't support this show, but we support the idea of people being able to go up there and play the music they want to.
Yeah.
I think at least people maybe would have, like, respected them for a second and been like, hey, you know what? Like, I think it's shitty, but hey, free speech is a thing. It's whatever, but it's not free of consequence.
Well, yeah, because they gave a platform for, I guess, what you could call hate speech, right?
Yeah,
like,
and that's, I don't think anyone's pro that.
Yeah.
Like, that's ridiculous.
Meanwhile, the promoter's like, you guys don't get it, like, black metal and, like, dark metal from the 80s, this is part of the lore of it, and it's like, I don't know, like, if it should be, especially in today's climate. And, like, they had shirts that was like a Hasidic Jewish man, and it says, like, Israelite parasite, and it's like a Hasidic Jewish man with, like, a bloodied up lip. It's like, it's just fucking weird, dude. Like,
yeah, but again, like, I believe in the idea of you being able to fail or succeed based on your decisions.
Yeah.
So this guy made, I don't even think anybody's going to call it ballsy, but, like, he made a call that, even though he went against his original call, but, like, to the best of my understanding, not citing any sources or anything like that, but, like, I don't think that business was going too great at Dingbats anyway. I don't think Dingbats was booming, and all of a sudden, like, wait a second, hold up, like, I think things are bad. And one of the things we talked about in said barbershop is we were like, hey, wait a second, like, this could be his way of like, I'm going to do this. And then when this business does fail for reasons way beyond this decision, I'm at least going to be able to be at a barbecue in 10 years and be like, well, you know, the only reason that business failed is because of them snowflakes. Like, and then he could just hang his hat on it and whatever. Again, like trying to tiptoe around politics, because I think we have different views on a lot of different things, but just in general, like, it's such a cop-out for people to do shit like that. And there's a possibility that that's why he did it.
Yeah.
There's a possibility that that was his Hail Mary attempt, hoping that people would be like, you know what? I support this guy. And maybe he picks up something, because, like, to the best of my understandings, last time I was there, that place was a shithole.
It sucks. It sucks ass.
Yeah.
It probably was. The bands were probably a draw, too. I don't know who listens to those bands, but maybe, like, it was a good bill. Apparently, like, he said that the email we got said he wasn't there that night. His son had to go to the hospital, and the promoter snuck the bands on. And one of those bands was known for sneaking onto bills. But, like, yeah, exactly. Like, dude, I can't buy all of that. Like, it's your venue. It's your responsibility at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, and especially for him to, like, then back it up. Like, if he came up and he's like, hey, guys, look, I'm sorry, I was at the hospital, whatever the story was. Like, if he came back with that, but instead of
he goes on like, fucking NJ News or whatever, like,
come on,
you know, man. You do one thing and next thing you know, everything's censored. It's like, no, most people are at least a little understanding, and I think people are really sensitive with the internet, but I think it's appropriate sometimes, like. And that's a situation where, like, outrage was, like, warranted. And, you know, I mean, outrage could always be warranted, but, like.
For sure.
You know.
Yeah, I think that, like, it's good. It's good to see that there's at least people thinking. Because it seems like, in general, whether it's that or whatever, like, people aren't making decisions that aren't given to them. Like, they're just, like, whoever it is. And, again, I am trying so hard to stay away from politics. But, like... It's just like someone's like, hey, you should believe this. And they're like, yeah, that's what I believe. I think, like, people being against, like, this, like, anti-Semitic band, I think that was, like, a genuine thought by everyone that was, like, pissed off about it. It wasn't fed to them. It wasn't like, hey, man, you should feel like this. And I think it's been, you know, some time since people actually, like, made a decision like that wasn't just, like, fed to them by whoever wanted to give it to them.
Yeah,
you know?
Totally. Well, it's easy, you know, it's easy to virtue signal online, and it's so easy to, like, you know, perfect your image and shit, and, like, you know, post about only the good shit. Like, everyone has bullshit lives. Like, everyone has some shitty aspect of their life they're hiding from the internet, you know?
Yeah. Well, so one of my buddies, who's up in New York now, like, where I was stationed in the Army, he actually just got back from Afghanistan like a week ago or something like that. One of my good friends up there, and one of the things, like, he pointed out, and, like, because we had, like, younger guys that, like, worked for us and with us and whatever, and he was just like, hey, like, he was very blunt with everything he said, and, like, one of the things he said is like, hey guys, like, if, and this isn't anything breaking, he was the first person I heard it from, where he was just like, hey, these people on the internet have, like, 20 good days a year, and they post it on the internet. Now, you have how many friends on the internet? I don't know, 500 friends? Well, if those 500 people are posting their 20 best days of the year, over the course of time, you're going to be like, hey, my life sucks. I don't have all these cool, great days. Yeah. But, like, when you actually look at it, you probably do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
That's
you have,
true.
like, this real misconception because you have all this stuff being thrown at your face, like, hey, look who got a new car, and look who got a puppy, and you're like, man, I haven't gotten a new car in months, and you're like, wait a second, idiot, you got a new car a few months ago. Like, stand back, realize that good things do happen to you, and quit being so sad about your life.
Well, it's
like, your life's probably awesome.
Yeah. Everyone has the instinct to do, like, self-comparison with shit, you know, like, you're constantly thinking, like, oh, I want that, or, like, you know, I'll do it sometimes with bands and stuff, like, but I'll never be jealous where, like, I'll resent anyone, but, like, oh, that's, like, a cool thing, it'd be cool to tour that much, you know, but it's just people see things and then they're like, why don't I don't have that?
Yeah.
But meanwhile, yeah, everyone's like, your house is a mess, you're shitty, you have like, everyone's got secrets, not everyone's fucking perfect, you know?
Well, the one thing that you said about like touring, I went through that like the other day. We toured with This or the Apocalypse like 100 years ago.
Hell yeah.
And they were awesome. We had so much fun, like really cool guys. And the drummer who was in This or the Apocalypse at the time he's in that like Star Wars band now.
What Star Wars band?
Called Galactic Empire.
Oh, okay.
And they're like huge on the internet.
Yeah.
Like they have like tens of millions of views on them playing stuff. And like they just played some fest the other day. And it's like one of the times where I sit back and I'm like, oh my God. Like they played to thousands and thousands of people.
That's wild.
In like Denmark.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is that? Like it's like the whole country just got together in the same shitty 1980s vehicle and drove over there to watch these guys. And these guys are like touring crazy places. Like they're in like Australia and China. They were just like in Japan playing for like, again, like half of the country.
Yeah.
At like this huge fest. And I just like look back and I'm like, oh man, like sometimes you get into that like, oh man, why aren't I doing that? And I'm like, oh, because I'm not him.
Yeah.
And he might look at the same, or not him, but just people in bands might look at the same things where they're like, oh, look, that guy's happy today and that guy's having a shitty day. He might be on tour, but he may have not seen his family in a year.
Yeah. That's
true.
True.
So like, as you're like envying this person for whatever stupid reason, like you're like, oh man, look at that sick drum kit that guy has. And then you're just kind of like, oh, yeah, but he also like goes home to nothing and, is having a horrible day. And maybe, not to get like too dark about it, but maybe that guy's having like issues where like he wants to end his life or something, like like you're constantly just like looking at this little snapshot.
Yeah,
you're looking at an Instagram photo with filters on it. You're like, oh gosh, I wish I was that. And like that guy could be having like a real issue.
That guy isn't even what he's posting.
Exactly. Like, let me tell you, if I go to post anything ever, do you think I'm just like taking one picture and I'm like, well, that's it? Like, I'm like, hold on, lighting's bad in here. And I think we all kind of go through that.
Yeah, you
where,
do.
Like, you want to put your best foot forward within reason. Like, this is a conversation you and I had in the car earlier where it's like, there's like this real strive for being perfect. And like everything has to, and it's not just us. It's not just like, it's the whole goddamn world. It's just like, I want to be the best always. And you get into like a mental, I don't know, like in your own brain where you're kind of like, even when it is perfect, like you're finally like, all right, here it is. And it's done. And you're just like, all right, now what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I have everything. Here's the perfect record. Like, I spent, 3 months recording it and mixing it. And I got this guy, I got Jason DeZuzio to produce it. And here you go. And it's done. And
he does like Imagine Dragons now. That's the guy who recorded our band. And like,
he recorded Gray Lines Reaching the Ends of the Earth.
Yeah. Too. Oh, he did that also?
Yeah.
Yeah, did Demira, which is still one of my favorite records, and now he produces Imagine Dragons.
Yeah, and he has like writing credits with like Christina Aguilera.
That's so wild. Good for him. Yeah. Not to digress too much. I agree. Yeah. I think like, dude, like I'll post stuff. People post for attention or like to share who they are for like with other people or like to make friends, to make connections, but it can kind of turn into like narcissism and vanity, and that can be dangerous. Like for me, I have to always keep myself in check. And that's partially why I cross my face out on my profile picture, also because like I'm a teacher and like I'm afraid of people. So,
well, as a cop, it's hard for you.
I wear many hats, you know.
Yeah, no, and it's just like it's an interesting like dynamic. Like if you just take a second to like think about it, and you're like, all right, you're like you and I were talking about it. I think we should probably just put the idea out there and see if you get people. But like, so Joe and I. We were talking about like just recording stuff kind of for the fun of it, but kind of like very imperfect, very like impromptu, a fun thing, because like fun doesn't really exist as much anymore.
Well, yeah. And a lot of times with music, at least in the universe I'm in, there's always intent. Like, all right, we're gonna record this and play shows
Yeah.
and record, but it's never just like, oh, let's just make some stuff for fun.
Yeah.
Although, did I show you my Gary Vampires song?
You sure did not.
Okay, I'm gonna show you after this.
I don't know what it is. I think I heard about it on like maybe the pod before.
I don't know if I ever brought it. I don't know. This is one of the only music things I ever did that was purely no intention of playing shows or being assigned band or wedding bullshit. It was just like, this is the dumbest thing. It's just it's a joke song. I'll show you after.
Well, there's so much like cool stuff that comes from that. Because even like when I was up in New York, there were 2 guys that I was in the army with where we just like got into conversation about like oh, I think the one guy I was on, so we do like this thing, it's like a 24-hour duty, like it happens way too often, and you literally are like at a desk for 24 hours.
Yeah.
And you have to do like stupid stuff and whatever, it's typical army shit. And my buddy, like, I think he's like watching a YouTube video at like 1 o'clock in the morning or something, even though you're not supposed to be on your phone, but like, and it was like Coheed or something. I was like, like, not that they're like edgy or underground or anything, but I'm like, that's like a good sign to me that like, hey, this guy's into like music. Like, like not just like, hey man, did you hear that new 3 Doors Down? That's some shit. Like, like I'm like, all right, this guy might, hey man, like, oh cool, so you're into music. Like, I knew him, but not that well at the time, you know? He's like, oh yeah, and we just got in a conversation like the whole time until we were off our shift at like 10 o'clock the next morning, where we're just like, I think he's just asking questions, and I like slipped and said like, something where it was like, oh, and I was on tour or something like that. He's like, wait, what? I'm like, oh shit. Like, because I try and be modest. I know like my wife's probably laughing hearing that right now if she takes the time to listen to this pod, but like, I try and be modest and not talk about that stuff because, like, I'm super proud of it, but I'm also, like, I try and be humble, and I try not to be the guy, like, hey, guys, guess what I did? Like, no one cares. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, I'm like, yeah, I was in bands for a while, whatever. He's like, oh, what'd you do? And I'm like, all right, this part of the conversation is going to get interesting because if I say I sing, it's normally, like, 9 out of 10 times you get some idiot like, well, sing for me now. And it's like, would you say that to someone if they said they play the guitar? Would you be like, well, I have this banjo, whip something up, buddy? Or like, I play the drums, slap on this book. Why do you think that that's an okay thing just because I sang? Like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, I was singing in a band. He's like, oh, what kind of music? Which, as you know, is a whole fucking can of worms with that. Because it's like, what do you say? Do you say, like, if you say hardcore, what does that mean to people? Yeah. Like, they might look at you and be like, this guy is a porn star. He's not he's not a musician.
Hardcore could be like anything between like Black Flag or System of a Down.
Exactly. Like. So I'm kind of like, like I was in like hardcore bands. He's like, oh, like what? And I'm like, all right, he might. So like it actually ended up being like a pretty good conversation. Like, but like you're really walking on like a minefield at that point.
You don't know.
Yeah, because you might get someone where you're like, oh, I listen to hardcore. They're like, sick, man, like Puddle of Mud. You're like, no, not like Puddle of Mud at all. And, so eventually, short story long, as I like to say, that led to us just like going and jamming. Like he had an electric set in his barracks room, and the room's like 6x8, and he has like this set in the corner, and he has like, he has like posters all over his room, and it was fun. Like we were from very different sides of like the music scale, I guess you could say. Sure. Like, but like it worked. It was fun. It wasn't like, all right, I'll see you Thursday. Serious practice time. Like it was kind of like a breath of fresh air for me because I hadn't played music prior to that in like almost 10 years. Yeah.
And it's healthy to do it. Yeah. It's a great outlet.
It was cool. And there was another guy that played with us who was actually like real good at guitar, and we would just like jam, and the majority of the time it was just us like drinking beer or watching music on YouTube, which is like a thing for the younger generation, but not like now I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Like now it's cool. Like I'm onto it. I'm like, yeah, I know that band. Like I don't really know, but like it's very much like commonplace to like watch music on YouTube and everything. So like it would be like my buddy and I, the guy Shock, who I was originally talking about, like he'd be like, have you ever heard of this band? And it would be like us passing like the Xbox controller back and forth to like play different stuff on his TV.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
it's cool that you still find a chance to do it. And we were talking to Carr about like doing some kind of compilation where like everyone like records a track and we just like write like we draw it out of a hat, like a potluck sort of.
Yeah,
the hard thing is finding people that'll do it, you know. I think my circle is small of musicians that are like willing and able and like will actually, because even if it's something fun like that, you still have to do it.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, and like I think that we could get people to do it, because my circle is even smaller. My circle is you. So congratulations.
I'll take it.
No, but like I think we both could kind of drum up some interest, but like I think maybe I was a little crazy with my initial thought on it, where it's just like, so for everyone listening, all the thousands and thousands of you that are listening, so like my insane thought was like, hey, let's get like songs. I don't think we really picked what kind of songs. Like they would be like covers, but it would be like, I don't even know. Like, okay, here's some song, and you put them in like separate hats, right? I don't want to lose you guys. So you put the same song in like 3 different hats, right? Like guitar, drum, sing, right?
Yeah.
And then when those people pick what song they're going to play, it's almost like a school project. Like they're going to have to get together and be like, hey, what kind of arrangement do you want to do for this song?
Yeah.
And then like, I'm a big fan of like not playing the full song.
Totally.
Like songs are boring.
Yeah, you know, once you hit the first verse, first chorus, you know
what
coming.
I mean? Like when it, like I would be very interested. Here's my new $1 million app. Ready? So like, it's just going to be the good parts of songs. Like, I'm not trying to listen. Like, if I'm like, oh, cool, I want to listen to some like old music, and most of the stuff I listen to, the songs are like 2 minutes anyway. But if it's like, oh, I want to listen to like Bro Hymn by Pennywise, and it's like long as shit, where it's like, yeah, it's like, you know what I want? I want the 38-second version of it, where it's just the woes and goes to the next song.
But without the bad parts, would the good parts be as good?
Yes.
You
sure would.
So? Yeah. It'd be like hit clips. Like, remember hit clips?
Yes. Like a Britney Spears hit clip. I mean, Minor Threat.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. But no, like, because I think that would be like a cool thing. I don't know. Like, it would just be
fun.
Like, hey, here's a minute of Paradise City by Guns N' Roses, but it's like a ska drummer and like a metal guitarist and like a high pitch screaming female.
It's a cool idea. There's people out of like the New Brunswick and Flemington scene that did this thing called Start Something, and the whole idea was like, if you've never done a band, come to this and we'll start your first band.
Flemington DIY
yeah,
right?
yeah. Jeff and Kelly like helped put this thing together, and a lot of other people. But it was a neat idea because it's got people playing music and like meeting people they don't know, and they all. Like, it was planned out. They had a band. They had these practices, and there was a show where they all played.
That's cool.
Some of those bands still exist now. It's pretty neat.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, like, when I'm trying to think, like, I was trying to, like, reflect prior to, like, coming here and everything like that about, like, how bands started. Like, because I don't even, like, think of it. Because, like, Gray Lines was already, like, established. And, like, I just hopped in. I'm like, hey, can I audition? Marlowe, like, you guys were together. And it was, like, hey, I'm going to play with you guys. But, like, Dead Season really wasn't like that. Like, it wasn't, like, a pre-made band. Like, it was, like, a band from scratch.
You all started together.
Yeah, and it was, like, really, really weird. Like, so this will date me a little bit, but, so I came across a cassette that had, like, first of all, cassette.
I had some cassettes. I had, like, a Weird Al and a Big Willie style cassette. Thank you very much.
And it was just, like, written in, like, shitty handwriting, like, the Dead Season.
Fuck yeah.
Was written on it. And because I was in a band prior to that called Famous Last Words,
Sick.
which is in like 2001.
That you screamed in?
Yeah. And I knew Sri from that. Sri and I went to the same high school. And then it was just kind of like, hey, man, we should start a band one day. Well, see you later. And then that was really it.
Yeah.
And then when that band was over, like, I don't even, like, it was just like, your kids, like, you like lost interest, and then that was it.
Totally.
So then it was like, I vaguely remember being like, hey, man, like, really, let's try and like start this band, whatever. And then we're like trying to bat around ideas of like what we were going to be. Because even like when I listen to the Dead Season now, I don't know what genre we were.
Yeah.
Like we weren't a hardcore band. Like,
no.
I guess kind of, but like
Nah.
the only thing that makes that is that we had singers that screamed.
Yeah.
That's it. So like other than that, it was really almost like a metal type band.
I'd say melodic metalcore, because like singy choruses, almost like As I Lay Dying.
Yeah.
Without all the bad stuff the singer did. Something in that realm, but still like pretty unique sound.
Yeah, like it's really like weird to listen to now, because like I don't like I really like, this is something you and I talked about like a few weeks ago and everything, and I think you talked about it on your pod too, where it's like the worst thing is when a band thinks they don't sound like anyone and they get that real pretentious like, oh, who do you sound like? They're like, actually, we don't sound like anyone.
I don't even know, man. Like, I thought about it a lot. And it's like, dude, no one ever.
Yeah, so like I'm not saying that by any stretch, but like especially at the time.
Yeah.
And like, so Dead Season, we started playing in 2003 in South Brunswick, which is like a very non-tough area. Like South Brunswick is just like, oh, hey, it's families of 5 that all live around each other.
Yeah.
And like our crime rate's real low. Shout out South Brunswick Police Department.
Is that where Blind Hate Experiment was from too?
Yes.
Okay, hell yeah.
Yeah. So like, but like that was what was around there. Like there were like more punk type bands. Like there was a band back then, I remember, I thought they were the coolest band ever. They were called Pull 130.
Okay.
And they were just like a punk type band, but they were like, God, I'm trying to think. Like almost not really like Pennywise or Bad Religion, but like that sort of deal.
In that
you know
realm,
what I
yeah.
mean? And they ended up, a bunch of them went on to be in the band like Slain July. I don't know if you remember
Yeah,
them.
I remember that band.
But like a lot of those guys were that, and I was like a freshman in high school, and I was like, holy shit, these guys they had a CD. I remember like buying a CD in the halls of high school and being like, what is this? Like,
Yeah.
this is so cool. And then here's the story of my life. Then I met Dave Kelly in my sophomore year. He just moved from South Carolina, and it was my sophomore year in Spanish class. And Dave was like, we were just like talking about a bunch of stuff, and he was like, hey man, like you should listen to this band. Who do you think that band was?
That's
Zayo.
Zayo? Okay.
Zayo. So it was like, he's like, yeah, listen to this, whatever. And I remember like going home and listening to it. It was their first CD, Splinter Shards of Birth of Separation. And I played it and I was like, what is this? Like, dude, I had no idea what it was.
Yeah.
But I was like, this is awesome. Like, I don't know what it is, but like I'm really interested in it. And like, cause he was from South Carolina, where like that type of music was kind of starting to come up. Like
Sure.
a lot of like the metalcore type stuff was like starting up down there. So it was like he kind of had a head start on the Northeast, you know? So he was in a couple bands in high school that were actually pretty good too. One of them was actually called When Gray Skies Fall, which is that season song.
Yeah.
But, so no originality on my end. But, and like back to what we were talking about, like Sri and I were like, I don't know what kind of music we're going to be. Let's just like mess around a little bit. So he hands me his cassette and he's like, hey man, I just kind of like messed around on here. It's literally with like a shitty like 4-track recorder of him just playing guitar, and it's sloppy. It sounds like crap. But like in that little, it's probably like, I don't know, 4 minutes, 5 minutes or whatever. But there are like 3 Dead Season riffs that are in there.
That's sick.
So it's just like out of nowhere, like we were totally listening to a lot of like Thursday.
Yeah.
And like the first CD from Brand New, and it was like poppier, but then like Thursday had this whole thing going. So like a lot of it's kind of like that, and then you just hear stuff where it's like, I'm pretty sure that's a Thursday song, and then like the next riff is like, oh my god, that's like the main hook for While I Breathe I Hope, or something like that. You're like, this is so cool. Like it was like really, really cool to find that.
Yeah, totally.
And then when Chris and I were packing to like move back to New Jersey, I'm of course the worst at that because I'm like going through all my stuff. Where like she's packing it like an adult and just like, okay, let's go. Through your shit, and I'm like, look at this, and she's like, where are you? And I'm like in the living room watching a DVD of like the Dead Season 2003. She's like, what are you doing? We have a whole house to pack. And I'm like, but look at this, you know. And yeah, it was really cool, and it was like not really like, it was like a perfect storm for us because there really wasn't a lot like us at the time.
You guys were good.
Yeah, we were pretty good, but just we were like really good at like networking.
Yeah.
Like we were like in the right place at the right time.
We played Hellfest, which, dude, I remember I had Lyme disease that summer, but I was looking forward to Hellfest for like 2 months. I was looking forward to see the Dead Season and like, you know, Folly, Hopes Fall, and Big Way. Like so many fucking bands, dude.
Like thinking about that now is like so funny because that was like the craziest thing, and we did not belong there. Like, but
how did you get on Hellfest?
So we played a battle for Hellfest.
Fuck yeah,
but dude, it was like the perfect storm.
Yeah.
So like, okay, it was whatever. Like, we're doing this. All right, we had like super loyal like group of people that would go to our shows. Like, cause Sri was still in high school. I think he was a senior, and we were all from different areas. So it was like myself, Dave, Sri, Gary was the second guitarist. I'm trying to think who was on bass at the time. I think it was Ryan, the real tall dude, and Toby.
Yeah.
So we were all from different areas.
Yeah.
So like it wasn't like a lot of bands where it's like, oh, we're all from South Brunswick.
One friend group.
We have 8 friends. Like we all had 8 of our own friends.
Yeah.
That all like would support us, and that was the coolest thing about any of that. But we had our EP that we just recorded, and we ordered shirts, which at the time was like a breakthrough. Like no one had. And we had slap bracelets, which to this day is still the coolest piece of merch ever. And we had all this stuff, and none of it was available until that show.
Yeah.
So it was like perfect storm where people were like, oh, I really want to buy your CD. And you're like, well, if you want it, you have to buy a ticket to this show.
Yeah.
So it was like through XSDB.
Right on.
And it was like $8 or $10 a ticket.
Where was
it? It was at the Cricket Club
in Irvington. Yep. I never been there.
And it was like, again, perfect storm. Like we legit sold like close to 100 tickets, I think.
Yeah.
And they're like, wait, what? Like we had to keep like hitting them up to get more tickets.
Yeah.
And they're like, you guys are gonna give us the money? Like they were like real iffy. Like, are you guys like really getting? We're like, oh yeah, we're selling them. And they're like, all right. So we sold like 100. So like clearly that's why we were able to play Hellfest, is it was like the right financial decision. Sure. But like again, perfect storm. Like all our friends were there. So like there were bands that were probably way better than us that were playing for their like 10 friends.
Yeah.
And we were playing for like 100 kids plus everybody else that was there.
Yeah.
So they're like, I know these guys kind of suck, but holy shit, they could draw some people. Yeah. So like somehow we made it, and we had like a really good slot too. Like we played at like, I think it was like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we played, I want to say it was Saturday at like 5:00.
Yeah. Like
we played like, it was at the same time as I Lay Dying though, which kind of sucked. But like we still had like a lot of kids that were there to see us, and like there were bands that had like legitimate like huge tour buses. Like Fear Factory played, like these like huge bands that like the Ataris played. I remember that, and like we pulled up in Sri's dad's Astro van, with a U-Haul on the back.
Fuck yeah.
And like we like pull into the back, and the guy's like, "Can I help you?" And we're like, yeah, we're playing." And he's like, "Oh, what band are you?" We're like, "The Dead Season." And the guy's like, "Look," he's like, "Oh, all right, yeah, you have to go get your tags." And we like felt so cool, like it was like Wayne's World, like where they have like the backstage passes, like walking around, like getting every to like clear out of the way. That's like how we felt like the whole weekend. It was like super cool, and I met Dan from Zayo.
Yeah, I mean, you helped him carry something. I remember you told me that.
Yeah. It was like the coolest experience for like a 19-year-old kid.
Yeah,
ever.
man, that's it. I looked up to you guys when that happened because I was younger, and I'm like, man, this band's cool. They just fucking played Hellfest somehow.
And that was like the calling card for us. Like after that, it was like, oh my god, like
people probably took you a little more seriously.
Yeah. Because again, it was like a perfect storm situation. Like I constantly say that because like our music wasn't the best because we were all young kids and we were doing whatever. Like it was really good for what it was. We got a really good recording for like not a lot of money. Like we recorded with Mike Turner. Like it was MB Studios, which stood for Mike's Basement Studios, in like Howell.
Okay.
And he recorded, like his brother was in No Hollywood Ending.
Okay.
And like all those bands around that area like recorded with Mike.
Okay.
And I think he went on, like I think he was running some studio or something. Like he went on to do really good things, right, and we just so happened to like
right
catch
place,
him
right
in the
time.
beginning. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So like we had like no one really had like high quality recordings then. Like we had like high quality recording in like a jewel case. Like it was like a real CD with like merch and all this, and like we just somehow kind of sort of looked apart, and I don't know, like we were decent dudes. You know, like we went to shows and we just like goofed around with people and stuff like that, and like built some really cool relationships with people that like I still keep a lot of them now, you know, like, and then like a lot of them lasted until all of us grew up and got old and you know, stupid stuff like that. But
should we get into the Marlowe battle? the Hamilton Street Marlowe Nisha battle for Warped Tour?
Yeah, no.
Well, so yeah, this is fast forward when you were in Marlowe Nisha, and similar situation. I mean, I think the Dead Season was a catalyst for a really strong local scene because when Marlowe started playing shows with the Dead Season, with Broken View, I don't remember who else really, with Love You Made, that was kind of later on, but like we started playing with a lot of these bands, and like there was already people at the shows.
Yeah.
Like, you know, not a lot of people, but even like 40, 60 people is a lot now. Like that's sick, you know?
Yeah.
And it's people who were all like-minded as far as music taste, and like we're there to support and hang out and stuff.
Yeah, the scene was so awesome.
Yeah.
And like that's something that like will come up in conversations, and like the guys who I was telling you like I jammed with in the Army, like they're asking me questions. I'm like, dude, I don't even know how to explain it. Like it was like like it sounds so corny, like as I was just thinking in my head, like it was like a big family. Like everyone was like supporting each other, going to their shows and this and that.
Because what else was there to do? Also, it's like see your friends and hang out, obviously, and go to the Omega Diner.
It's like,
or whatever.
Hey, pay $7, go to the Italian American Club.
Yeah,
you're there for 8 hours. Like you're literally there for the entire day, and then you go to Omega and you spend $3 and don't leave a tip because you're a scumbag. And like your whole day was $10.
Yeah, it's true.
And like you were with all your friends. You got to have fun. You got to see bands you genuinely enjoyed watching. Yeah. And like it was just a really, really cool, super, super supportive scene.
Totally.
And like I feel like we almost kind of took it for granted. Like I think that like we almost like expected it at some point, and like maybe it was just me. Like I don't want to speak for everybody, but I was almost like, oh yeah, people are gonna come to the show. Like, and now when I think about it, I'm like, man, these people, like there were a ton of people that weren't in bands.
Yeah.
Like people that were just like, I want to go see Marlowe Nisha, and I was just like, oh yeah, whatever, that's cool.
Well, it became the cool thing to do.
And like I think of it now, and I'm like, holy shit, like these guys like supported bands that I was a part of. That's the coolest thing ever.
100%.
Because like, as you know, far greater than I do, like, or maybe we're equal, I don't know, but like it's so hard to get people to go to a show.
Oh, yeah.
And the fact that like we were a lock no matter what, to like have a bunch of our friends there. And we'd have friends like, hey man, sorry I was a little bit late. I hit traffic because it's an hour and a half drive. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't do that. I'm an asshole, I guess. But like I did to an extent, like with like local bands. But like there were so many people that like without hesitation were like, yeah, I'm gonna be at your next show.
Yeah.
And like thinking about that now, I'm like, oh my god, like that's
that much commitment in 2018 is rare to
Yeah.
be like, oh yeah, I'm definitely coming. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Like
Yeah,
that
and that
doesn't
was just
happen.
like if you weren't going. Like I remember there would be times where like someone couldn't go for whatever reason, and then you'd be like, hey, is so and so okay? You'd be like, I think so. It'd be like, yeah, because they're not here, and then you're like, oh my god, are things okay? I better check their away message and make sure that they're okay. Yeah, like, and that was just like, it was commonplace. Like there were so many like awesome supportive people in the scene. You had like Toby's cousin Dave was like the ringleader / like big brother of
he knew
everybody.
to round people up and get them together.
Yeah, and like, but like he just cared about everybody.
Yeah,
he just like genuine like, and that was the same for most people there, where it was like that person to your left and your right was like your brother.
Yeah.
And you went there and you had fun and you danced, and sometimes you got punched in the face, and it was okay. Like it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
And it was more like, all right, it's like a brotherhood, like almost like a weird like mafia thing, you know? But
Dance Depot.
Like, yeah, Dance
Breakdown crew, 732.
Dance Depot, Black Hoods, like the whole like. But there were so many like groups of guys that all got together for like the love of music and the love for the scene, which like
and girls, guys and girls.
Yeah, well, yeah, guys and girls,
Yeah.
and I sound like an asshole.
No,
but like, and it was like from all corners of the state. Like I remember, do you remember we played in like Pennsgrove?
Yes.
And we had like friends down there. The guys Dead by Dawn, I think.
Yeah.
And they were like our brothers
They're
from
cool.
then on out. Yeah, like
Yeah.
we played like a couple shows with them, and like one of the guys hit me up like a few years ago.
Really?
Like, hey man, what's going on? Like whatever. And it
Yeah.
was just like, hey, just wanted to see, make sure you're doing okay.
That's awesome.
You know, like, and that was what it was. Like people don't really think about, if they're not part of like the music scene, or especially that great one that we had then, like they don't even think that that's a thing. But like that was such a real
it was
thing.
awesome. It's rare to find that, because it's timing. Like you could be the most awesome band and you wouldn't necessarily have that. You can still play great shows, but having that like community is like right place, right time. Everyone's the right age.
Yeah,
you know, right support system.
Yeah.
It
Which
was
I
cool.
guess is the best segment ever into our battle at Hamilton Street. So we played Battle of the Bands at Hamilton Street Cafe in Bound Brook.
Yeah.
And we played there a lot, and it was a lot of fun, and we drew really well, like considering it's like a half an hour ish from where we're from. Like we drew a lot of people there, and like it kind of like Toby's cousin Dave, like beef, if you will, rounded up the troops. Like, hey guys, Marlowe has a show on this day. If they win, they get to play
Warped Tour.
Yeah, they get to play Warped Tour.
Meanwhile, it's like playing noon on a shitty built tent at Warped Tour, but
again,
still,
like
it's the
it's
name.
Warped Tour.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, we need to make sure that they're playing. So we're like, all right, cool, you know.
Yeah.
So we play, and I just vaguely remember like awesome set, like everybody's like dancing, like we really kicked ass, literally. And then afterwards, it's all kind of fuzzy. Luckily, I wasn't involved in anything.
Yeah, me neither.
But I just remember a huge fight breaking out.
Turned into a riot almost.
Yeah,
like
and
chairs were thrown, people were stomped. A lot of people that were there to see Marlowe were kind of fighting with another band. And like, yeah, we talked very highly, and like we had an awesome scene, but a lot of us were scumbags too. Like, you know, just young kids, like not up to the best things. And
well, and I don't even think it is really, I mean, when it's all said and done, scumbags. But like when it's all like, it was really the whole like brotherhood aspect, or brother and sisterhood, or whatever, that we talked about before, where it's like, I think like I vaguely remember, but I think it was like one of our supporters, like one of the guys that was like a fan of ours, like may have gotten like hit in the pit or something like that, which just caused like a, hey, you better watch yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that whoever they said that to was like, well, fuck you guys.
Yeah.
And then that was kind of like, well, hold on a second. Like it was, like I said, a lot of us, like, I don't have a big close family. So like that kind of was my family.
For sure.
You know,
I think for all of us it was in a way, yeah.
So like when you punch, let's just put it in that, like if you punch my brother in the face and say, fuck you, I'm probably going to be mad at you.
Yeah.
Like, again, thank God it wasn't me that like did anything or whatever, but there were a lot of people that were like, hey, no one's going to do that sort of stuff and get away with it.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, no, it didn't end well. But fast forwarding to the end of that, it was basically like, hey, like we were told we
won. They announced us as winners,
yeah,
and then emailed us the next day.
Yeah, and said like, hey, by the way, you don't win.
You're disqualified, and the band that got beat up, they win now.
Yeah, so it's whatever. I get it.
Yeah,
I mean, it's real life.
Fast forward 12 years, I understand. Like, totally understand.
I think I was pretty upset at the time.
Oh, for sure, because I remember I was a kid. I was still going to summer camp, and I went to summer camp, and I was like, yeah, my band's playing Warped Tour. We won the battle at Hamilton Street, which I think we legitimately won because we had a fan base, and we were good, and we drew. So it's like, we really, I felt like we deserved it in a lot of ways. We worked hard at making awesome music. And
we won both battles. Is basically what it comes down to.
Yeah, pretty much.
We won the musical battle, and apparently our fans or whatever, however you want to see it, they won the physical version.
I'll never forget escaping in the back of the bread van, and you were driving, and the cops pulled up, and we just got the fuck out of it.
Yeah, because like again, I don't want this to be means to bring us in for any sort of questioning, but like we really were not involved. We were not fighting. We weren't like, we were under the idea of like, okay, we just played a show, dum-dee-dum-dee-dum, and we're like, what the hell is going on over there? And there's like a big fight. I think, didn't a window get broken? I think like a chair
someone went into like a next door place to hide or something. I think someone threw a chair through the window.
Yeah, so again, this wasn't like a kid slapped another kid in the face. This was like,
really turned into a riot.
Yeah, it turned
like,
really bad.
There was probably like 20 people involved.
Yeah, and I remember like friends just being like, hey, you guys should get out of here.
Yeah.
And we're kind of like looking around and we're like, you know what? I think so. Like, I think, like, it wasn't like our friend was getting stomped and we're like, all right, let's get out of here. Let's hit the road. I think we were kind of like, hey, let's not get involved in something that we're in reality not really involved in.
Yeah.
And let's not get questioned.
What's the point?
Or anything stupid.
We got banned from Hamilton Street, though. We weren't allowed to play there anymore.
Yeah, that was it. That was our last Hamilton Street show. And you know what happened at Hamilton Street show? Since... They're gone.
Yeah,
they should have kept Marlo around. We were putting food on their plates.
We would have stopped the flooding.
Yeah, we would have single-handedly stopped the flooding. And
they still have stickers up in the parking lot too. I mean, the venue was awesome. Yeah, because I used to have to do bread deliveries over there, and I would drive through it. Yeah.
So is like that building still there?
It's a laundromat now.
What?
Yeah. Boundbrook just floods. Like some of the restaurants I go into, I'd like be in the kitchen in the back, and you could see watermarks like almost up to the ceiling, like fucking like 15 feet of water.
So like, all right, here's like me being an asshole or something, but like, dude, it's 2018. Why are we not making this town not flood anymore?
Yeah, no, they should work on it.
Like the technology's there.
They should definitely work on it.
You know what I mean? Like it's not like geez, how are we gonna make, like, we know how. We're just choosing not to at this point. Like, and I don't care. I'm not here to like pump my fist and be like, we need to overthrow. No. It's not anything stupid. But like, I feel like that's like hearing somebody got like smallpox.
Yeah, it's like, what are we doing?
What? Like, polio. I'm pretty sure that's gone. like a town flooding should be like polio at this point.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I agree. It'd be nice if they stopped it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
we'd probably still have Hamilton Street.
Yeah, like there'd still be shows. Like you'd still have like Marlo Sr. playing with Love You Made the Butcher, and what was the name of It would have been a better joke if I just knew it. But what was Ryan Healy's band?
A Means to a Fall.
Yeah, Means to a Fall. We all three bands, we would all still be playing there right now.
Yeah, right. Still kicking it. Yeah.
Yeah. Which leads me to the segue of starting the venue in New Brunswick. I know
was
you
gonna
didn't bring it
I
up
was
in
gonna
the
say it as a
last
joke.
podcast.
Damn it. Can't escape.
But you know what? I know why there aren't venues now.
Why?
I get it. Because if someone is in like a Wendy's and someone like slams a purse into their side, they like sue a Wendy's.
Yeah.
So like, of course, if you're gonna have a venue, somebody's gonna like swing their arm, and guess what? Like, do I want to take that financial risk? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Like, it almost seems like, and I'm sure it wasn't the case, but it seemed like it in like 2006. You could have a venue, a kid gets kicked in the face, and he goes like, well, I probably shouldn't have been standing there. And then he just goes on with his day, where now it's just like, you sue for everything. Like, who the hell wants to put up with
the
that?
internet now, too. You can have a camera on all the time. And
Exactly.
Like,
it's a nightmare. Like,
Yeah.
why would, like, the fact that there even are venues blows my mind now. Because who's the idiot that's taking that financial risk right now? And I know, like, there's someone right now, like, how dare you say I'm an idiot? No.
Well, there's not a lot to gain either.
There's zero to gain. Zero.
Maybe if you're lucky, you make like $40,000 a year.
Way. No,
Like,
not even close.
Like, no, you have to be like
you
a
might.
sizable. I don't know what the guy at the Court Tower made. They're not doing shows anymore. I mean, like,
zero.
I know
That's
people.
what he made.
I know people who do venues in Jersey. And like, yeah, this isn't my job. I just do this for fun as a hobby. And it's like important venues in New Jersey that just are doing it out of passion.
Yeah,
like,
because that's really what it has to be. Like, you have to do it because you love doing it.
Yeah.
And you're just not like, you're never gonna make like a ton of money.
No, you're doing the wrong thing then.
Yeah, like, you really have to do it because you love it and you want a scene to come out of it or whatever the case is. But like, I don't even know, like, financially, can it support itself? Like, not really. Like, to do like an all ages venue is like impossible.
No, yeah, unless it's huge like Starland, and then you get bands that draw.
Yeah, but how much is Starland really bringing in?
I'm guessing
Honestly.
a lot.
Really?
I would guess. I mean, it's like a 3,000 cap room.
Like, I'm just saying, like, I'm being very ignorant in asking. Like, I don't know.
I don't
like,
know.
I went to see, the last show I went there was Saves a Day did Through Being Cool 15 years later or something. It was like 2014.
Yeah.
And they played like from beginning to end Through Being Cool.
That's awesome.
And, like, I think a bunch of other bands played too, but it was like, that was the last time I was there. It was packed, but like, I don't know, like how much goes into like the overhead for everything that's involved. Like,
I don't think I'll ever know because I don't think I'll ever be on that side of music. But it's interesting. I definitely think about stuff like that.
Yeah, because like, I don't know, like, it blows my mind how, like, I'm so far outside of it now that it's like, for me to even like think of it, I'm like, well, I don't know, let's just check their MySpace. Like, what? That's not a thing anymore. Like, like I think in such like a prehistoric way now, but it's like, I honestly, like, so something came up with a band, like, just in general, it was like, oh, so-and-so, and I was like, cool, I want to see like where they're playing, and I'm like, where the fuck do I go to find out where they're, like, I genuinely don't know. I still don't know the answer.
I use Instagram because like they probably posted a tour flyer soon, but that's not always reliable. Yeah,
they didn't. So I'm like, are they just not playing? Are they, like, I feel like
the nice thing about MySpace was it listed the shows right on the
front.
it
had it all there, and I'm sure there's some like stupid website that exists.
I think on Facebook you can, but it's like not 100%. I don't know. It's stupid.
Yeah.
It's harder now.
Yeah, I genuinely, like, I'm out, and I figure that I'm like more in the majority, where like I feel like most people that would maybe be open to like seeing bands or seeking music or whatever, like, just don't know where to go. Like, you kind of have to like stumble into it. And even like the show I told you where I saw you when we saw Sunstroke and Sick Shit and stuff, like, I reached out to you and I'm like, hey, Joe, do you know where this venue is? Because you can't even list where the basement show is.
Yeah, they have to DM them. They have to like make sure you're not a cop.
Yeah, like, and Joe's clearly a cop, so they already missed on that one.
Yeah,
but it's like, I didn't even know. And it was like, I'm seeing this band. I'm going to this show. I need to find out how I'm getting there. And like, it was almost impossible to find out.
Yeah, it's tricky. Definitely.
But there was still a good turnout. There was still
cool
like,
show.
it was cool, but it's like, where is the kid that's stupid like me? That's like, hey, I want to find new music. Like, where are they just going to like, I don't know, just going to random shows at like a big venue like Starland and then just like kind of stumbling across
it's hard
it?
to say. I would say you get a better experience going to a basement show, but some people won't do it. Some people are against it. Like I talked to someone, I went to see Thursday play War All the Time at the Lanes, and some guy's wearing an English shirt. I'm like, dude, that's sick. Thanks so much. He's like, yeah, I'm actually from Buffalo. I drove down here. And I was like, oh, we just played in Buffalo a month ago at like a basement. And he was like, yeah, I don't really go to basement shows. They're kind of weird in Buffalo. And I was like, honestly, we got some weird vibes in the basement show. And he's like, yeah, you're better off trying to venue. But it was like, damn, that kid is like a fan of our band and like didn't get to see us when we were in Buffalo. And we only probably go to Buffalo once a year at most. We don't tour a lot, that band. So it's like, it just sucked.
Like there isn't, like I feel, and again, this might exist and I'm just not in the loop and whatever. But like, I feel like there isn't like it used to be like, hey, this VFW, there's a show next week. This VFW, this Knights of Columbus, there's a show. Like, there used to be so many things like that where, like, those places just aren't renting out anymore. Or I don't know.
I think we're aged out a little because there probably are scenes where you can find a show twice a month. Yeah. But for us, it's more like there's an important show once every 2 or 3 months where it's like everyone kind of reunites.
The only thing I've seen recently, and I say recently, but probably within the last like 2 years or something, is like Asbury has some stuff. So they've had like at the Asbury Park Brewery. Yeah. They have shows there a lot.
They do a lot. Aftermath Collective does a lot there, and they kind of just feel like a community, like with a lot of bands.
Yeah, no. So like, there's that, and then there's the Yacht Club down there does some shows. Yeah, and so like, it seems like there's like a pretty decent venue-based show.
Yeah. Totally
down there, but
because
like,
they used it to their advantage, and it's awesome. Like they incorporate to their bars or hotels or whatever, and they use like the history of Asbury. Yep. And it's fucking great. Yeah.
And like my brother-in-law runs the Asbury Park Flea Market, and he's been doing like a show as a part of it and everything like that. And the most recent one that he does like a show during the actual flea market, and then he does like an after party type show, and that was at the brewery too. Yeah. And he's like, dude, it's awesome. Like, super easy. There are a bunch of bands that just want to play a show, and I just throw this one on, that one on, and there's like a really good scene down there. Even like, I think, what is it, Bond Street or whatever, the bar down there, they throw.
I was like there recently, and they had a band in the basement.
Yeah, and they even do like some like outside like fest type thing.
Oh, nice.
And like, it seems like it's really thriving down there, which again, like, I'm kind of ignorant to it. Like, I'm barely kind of sort of involved, like going to see bands and stuff there, but like I feel like in like the Central Jersey area there really isn't that. It seems like maybe it's New Brunswick basement shows, but I'm just not cool enough to.
It's different, because you can't rely on stuff when it's not public like that. It'll always be its own thing, and it's fucking awesome, but it can't be what Asbury is.
Yeah, like I remember playing like New Brunswick basement shows myself, and they were awesome. Yeah, like you play in like someone's backyard in New Brunswick, and you're like, all right, cool. Everybody's got to be done by 10 o'clock. All right, let's go. And you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's different. Definitely.
Yeah, no, and it's interesting to see where like the scene itself has gone, and now how it's like seems like a smaller scale, but a better, more intimate scale, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It's definitely more intimate in a lot of ways. I think it's more it's not more personal. You can see more of it online too. Yeah. It's different, I guess. Before it was like you had to go to a show to socialize with people. Even when there was MySpace, like Facebook's more like you can directly talk to people. So
no, like I remember like just going to shows and like being an asshole and not watching some bands and just like hanging out outside with like our friends. Yeah. Like it would be like Danny Kushner in a whoopee cushion costume, like walking around. They're like just people doing like silly stuff and just like acting like idiots. And then you're like, oh shit, I'm not back from Wawa yet. We're supposed to go on in 5 minutes. Whoops. Like that happened like a bunch of times where it's just like people just blatantly loitering and just hanging out at places and just like
for sure. That was a lot of hanging out in parking lot. Dude, remember we used to just drive around and like listening to Dead to Fall?
Yeah.
And right before like the breakdown in Bastard Set of Dreams, like you just put it in park and we just moshed on someone's front yard.
Oh yeah, that was like the original like Vine before Vines were a thing, and
just
now
like
it's
a van stops, a big cargo van stops, and like 6 kids jump out of the back.
Like
everyone's just
scary kids, like really horrifying
windmilling,
kids.
like so
just
stupid.
like stopped at like Adams Station, just like like oh yeah, that was I forgot about that completely. Like I remember it's like, hey man, take a look at this video, and I don't even know like what did they record on? Was it camera like phones?
I guess camera phones, yeah.
Like I don't
flip
even
phones with cameras.
Yeah, like I don't even remember. It's like, hey, look at this, and it's like some pixelated thing, and you're like, oh cool, what is that? It's like, that's Marky spin kicking in the middle of a red light. Like, what the hell is going on, man? And it was just like, that was a thing. Like, people going to, like, a parking lot and just, like, moshing the Bastard Set of Dreams or whatever it was. And that, like, that just doesn't seem like it exists now. I don't know.
We should actively try to find stuff like that.
Yeah, because, like, I'm interested. It's funny. Like, I keep joking around, like, with Zach from The Matter of, I think. He was also in Bears and Bright Lights.
Oh, Zach West.
Yeah, Zach West. I wasn't sure. I don't know. I don't want to be like, Zach West, but like, so I was saying how like because I told him, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do a pod with Joe and blah blah blah, and I kept like joking around. I was like, I can go on there and like see if I can start like a pro establishment hardcore band, like see if it fits, see if someone's like follow the rules, like yeah, like see if we get that going. I was like, I don't think there are gonna be any band members but myself, but we'll see if we can make it happen. Like that's been like, maybe that's a scene. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe that's why we don't hear about it. Is that's the big scene, and we're just we're
missing out. Stay between the lines.
Go the speed limit. Like something stupid like that.
I'm
like,
a good boy. Yeah,
like that. Like I don't know. Like it'd be cool to just like do something like that, or who cares? Like you and I were talking about how like you just try to have fun.
Yeah.
Like there's something that's so much fun about just playing music, going to shows, hanging out.
Yeah, what are you going to do? Stay in and sit on, like, watch Netflix? Like
that's what I do, actually. I enjoy it. But but, like, there's definitely, like...
I'm very anti, like, all that shit. I'm the worst, though, because, like, people give me shit like, dude, I'm just watching a show. Like, I can't watch a show. I just, like, get anxious, like, watching stuff.
Yeah, no, like, I'm totally... I speak out of both sides of my mouth because I'm like, go out and make music and hang out with friends. And then like a friend of mine will text me at like 8:00, like, hey man, you trying to go out? And I'm like, nope.
That's the thing.
Sure not doing that. Like
you feel it. Like we're old now. You feel it.
Yeah. Cause I'm 100 years old, almost 98. And like, it's so much effort. It feels like, and that's like the shittiest thing to say. Like, I have such really good friends that are probably like giving up on me at this point. Like they're just like doing their own thing, hanging out, doing whatever. And I'm like, man, how come I'm not invited? I'm like, oh yeah, because I suck. Like I don't go out. Like I tell them no all the time.
Yeah.
So, and I'm cool with that to an extent, but I want it when it's convenient to me.
Yeah.
Like
plan your weekends. Plan your weekends. If there's ever a show you want to go to, or if there's anything I think you'll dig, we'll keep in touch.
Yeah, no, look at us. We're gonna be going to shows. We're gonna be two dads with no kids. You're gonna be like, oh, whose dad is that?
The punk hardcore scene is a lot of older heads, which is cool.
Yeah, I did notice that. I went to a handful of shows within the last few years, but I realized that like a lot of it is like guys who are my same age, guys or girls. Sorry, guys or because it is guys or girls.
It is. Yeah.
I say guys as a general thing.
I know. I literally had a class of all girls today, and I said, guys, we're at measure 2. Like,
yeah, because it doesn't mean guys. It means like y'all, but we're better educated, so we don't say y'all. But like, like a lot of the people that are at these things are our age, and they're there because like, especially like if you go to like any of these like bands that have been around for a while or anything like that, like you go there and not all of it's as sad as that Reunion Misfits show at like the Prudential Center with like that looked really, really sad.
I didn't see videos of it.
So they were
of
fine.
them playing?
They were fine. Music, like,
Yeah.
Glenn Danzig's good. Like, the guys in the Misfits are good. Like, oh yeah, they're terrible. No, they're not.
No,
like,
it's
they're
not.
good at
Yeah.
what they do. But like everyone in the crowd was like 60, and it was like I had good friends of mine that went, and like they're cool. Like they're my age, which is a great spry young age.
Yeah.
And they're like at the show doing whatever, but then like you see like in the background, you see like a 60-year-old man with like the Misfit lock wearing like a leather vest, and you're like, what is going on? Like, I give them credit, but like, what is going on? But like I said, I went to like that Saves the Day show, and it was just like bunch of dudes like me that like need to lose 20 pounds, wearing like their coolest like band shirt that they have, which isn't cool anymore. And they're like with a beard, like kind of just drinking a beer, like soaking it in.
Yeah.
Like I like that.
That's the vibe that the Lanes gave me when I was
Yeah.
there. And granted, it was a Thursday 10 year, but it seems like a lot of the bills they were doing is that it's like people who were like active, or like people who like music that aren't like necessarily going to a lot of like local stuff, but we'll see bigger bands that can fill
Yeah.
that room, which is fine. You know?
Yeah, I mean, again, there's Asbury just playing the hits. Like that's a really, really good scene in general. Like, it's so cool. Like, Chris and I go down there 100. Well, now that we're back in New Jersey, it's going to be a lot more. But like, we go down there a lot. My brother-in-law has a house down there, and we'll just like go walk the boardwalk, or we'll go get like a beer or some food or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's like, we actually got married down there. Like, there's like a great scene in general down there where it's like, hey, I kind of like being part of something there, and I also like kind of being anonymous, as like stupid as that sounds. Like, I hate being somewhere and be like, hey, we went to middle school together. I don't want to be friends with you now. I don't want to be friends with you then. Like, you go down there, like, I don't know anybody in Asbury right now.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool. Like,
Yeah.
Like, not
You
that
just
I'm
enjoy
Mr.
it.
Popular, but you know what I mean? Like,
No,
I don't
you
have to
just
worry
enjoy
about,
it.
like, running into someone stupid.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It's more rare.
yeah, no, it's cool down there. And I want to, like, again, now that we're, like, living back in New Jersey, to be able to, like, go to shows down there. And I joined a Facebook group called Asbury Punks?
Nice.
Or Punk or something like
Yeah.
that. I know I'm not cool, and like people are probably like leaving it right now because I joined. But it, like, I noticed within the last like 2 days or something like that they're posting shows like all the time, and I'm like, who the hell is this band? Because I don't, like, I used to at least know like one band. Like, oh, okay, that's so and so. Who are these other guys? Now I'm like,
a lot of new bands.
yeah, it could just
a lot
be
of
all
Jersey
made up.
Shore, like punk hardcore bands too, which is cool. There's a show at the brewery actually December 22nd. I'm thinking of going to.
Who's playing
School
that?
Drugs and Stag Party. School
Oh,
Drugs,
cool.
like I've had Josh on here, but he's like a friend of ours, and
Yeah.
they're like a kind of like 80s like Dead Kennedy style like punk
Cool.
hardcore band, but
Cool.
they're fun. So.
Yeah, that, and again, like, super easy place to get to, and you could just go there and watch music. So
Yeah.
it's cool to be back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, totally, dude.
Ah.
Yeah. Let's wrap this fella up. I gotta finish the comp. Actually,
Yeah, and
gotta go do the
I even joked around with how long this would be.
This is 2 hours.
Yeah.
I think this is the longest one I've done.
Well,
I mean, we had a lot of catching up to do.
yeah,
so.
And to be fair, we saved people that are you're not still listening, but if you're still listening, like, we talked for like 40 minutes in the car, like, prior to this. Like, we had to go. Of course, Joe didn't have a piece for his.
I'm not as well put together as I seem, everyone. Okay, I'm trying my best.
I don't know who seems who thinks that he's well put together, but if you do, you need to seek some serious help, because it is Joe Scal. I mean, fake guy.
That's right. That's right.
But yeah, no, we talked for a while, and this is really cool. And I don't know, maybe we'll do a recap when I go to a few more shows, and I come in, I'm like, hey man, let me tell you all about the scene nowadays. But I don't know.
Well, we could do a whole nother one just like of tour stories too.
Yeah.
Like, I still want to know that Grey Lines tour story that I don't even remember, like a church in.
Oh yeah. Sure, we could do that another time.
We'll do it
or
another
something.
time. Yeah, okay.
I mean, because 2 hours.
That's good. That's
It.
good.
People are tapping out.
Yeah.
They're done. The only one that's gonna listen this long is gonna be me. As I listen to it, I'm like, God, my voice is woo.
We'll put some slap delay on it.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. Well, cool, dude. Thanks for coming on, Ernie.
Hey, anytime, Joe.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Thanks for listening. Yeah, keep listening to these. All right, bye.